Good evening. Yeah, good evening, Rose. How are you today?
Hello, good evening.
So glad to hear you.
Hi,
Sorry,
good evening.
yeah, so nice to see you. I can see your video.
So my
Sorry.
sound is okay?
Yeah, it's very good. Perfect. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Oh, thank you so much also.
Your
So shall
smiling is
we
so
start?
beautiful. Sorry.
I'm very old.
No, that's the age. It doesn't matter. Yeah, everybody has.
Okay. So shall we start?
Yeah, please. Yeah. You
Okay.
can share the screen directly.
All right. So wait, let me share the screen for a while. Okay. So can you see the screen now? Can you see the screen?
Yeah, very clearly. Thank you so
All right.
much. Yeah, beautiful.
Okay. Wait. But what happened to my camera? Right. I'm gonna do the slideshow. Okay. So I don't know. You cannot see me now. My
Yeah,
but my
yeah,
audio
yeah,
is
and
okay.
yeah. Everything is okay.
All right.
Three poison in Buddhism. Yeah,
All
we can
right.
see it.
Very good. Okay. So to formally start once again, a pleasant good evening, a pleasant evening to everyone, especially to all the venerables who are attending now. And of course to Venerable Benny. A pleasant good evening. All right. So I'm so sorry for the past meeting. I was not able to be with you because I got sick. Now I'm okay.
Yeah,
And
so good to see that. Yeah, no
yes,
worries. Yeah, I know there was a flu prevailing. Yeah, during that time.
because
No worries. We
yes,
just pray for you. Yeah, okay.
it's so easy. I think it's so easy to catch flu or cold nowadays because there are still some virus in the environment. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so last time we talked about the three poison in Buddhism, if you still remember, the topic that
Mm-hmm.
we discussed. So we had finished with the general information about the three poison, and we tried to break it down into each of those three poison, namely the greed, the aversion, and attachment. Okay, so last time we talked about the greed, and then wait, I'll just remove this. Okay, so we discussed about this. I will not going to elaborate more on this because I remember we already elaborated this one, right?
Okay, thank you so
If you
much.
still remember. Okay. So we said last time that the main cure for greed in all Buddhist tradition is generosity, contentment, and detachment. Because in the first place, we are talking about the three poison because we want to eliminate them from our life because we want to attain nirvana. We want to become a good person. We want to eliminate suffering. We want to remove suffering in our life. So that's why we are studying the three poison. First, we need to learn. what are the three poison, and then one by one we go deeper into each of these poison so that we will be able to remember on how to control ourselves and to be able to overcome these three poison. So greed will be overcome by practicing generosity, contentment, and detachment. Now, how are we going to overcome greedy? This is by being generous. When we say generous, of course, this is sharing what we have, giving what we have. As we have said last time, it's not always in the form of material things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Whatever skills, whatever knowledge, whatever things that you can share to other people, or in your way of sharing, you'll be able to help them to overcome their suffering as well. So that is also a practice of generosity. Even feeding of animals in the road or in any place is also an act of generosity. Okay, so as Dalai Lama said, that true happiness comes from having a sense of inner peace and contentment, which in turn must be achieved by cultivating altruism, love, and compassion, and by eliminating anger, selfishness, and of course, greed. If we will be able to practice love and compassion, I think these
Mm-hmm.
two will be enough to overcome greed,
Yes,
isn't it?
exactly. Yeah.
Yes. All right.
So excuse
Uh,
me, what's so shall I go to the previous one? What does that mean? Ah, true.
altruism.
Ah, yeah, what
Altruism.
does mean?
Yes.
Altruism.
Cultivating altruism is like um the intention is for the good of everybody, is for the good
Oh,
of
yeah.
all. Doing good
Okay,
thing,
good intention, good will.
altruistic behavior.
Oh,
Altruism.
yeah.
Yes.
Altruistic
Yes.
behavior.
Altruism,
Okay.
love, and compassion, these are all good values.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you
Okay.
so much. We
Okay.
learned.
Welcome. All right. So, yeah, we also talked about this one. And then, um, okay. So, this one is again telling about generosity as the best medicine against greed. The poisons are considered. When we say poison, it's like a chemicals that when it enters the body, the physical body, it's like it will give us illness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why in this particular study, we consider generosity as one of the best medicine against greed. Sometimes when we don't know what is the reason of our illness, we are trying to check our behavior. It's more than the
Mm-hmm.
physical. I don't know if you practice this in China or if it is part of your culture. Being a Filipinos in this country, we have what we call traditional medicine. We have practice of traditional medicine as well, wherein if the person is not is not getting well after consulting a medical doctor, after all the medical procedures, the person is still sick, then we will go deeper in trying to understand the cause of sickness, the cause of illness of that person, and that we are looking on the behavior, on the attitude, on the values of the person. I don't know if you also
Mm.
practice that in China, or is it part of your culture? Do you have that kind of belief?
Mm, yeah, yeah, it has. We also yeah take a deeper insight into the mental health issue. And are you some days in depression and yeah
Mhm.
depressed or something like that? Yeah, we're just trying.
Yes. Yes. Sometimes it's it's so difficult to analyze our situation, even if
Mhm.
we are very careful.
Exactly.
Yeah, even if we are very careful with our health, with our life, still
Mm.
there is
Sick.
suffering. Yes,
Yeah.
we'll get illness. Sometimes it's not always physical. Okay, anyway, so we have to remember this generosity is the best medicine. Okay, this is just in
Yes,
passing.
exactly.
Yes. Oh, yeah. This is just in passing because we finished this already. I wait. What happened? It's not moving again. Is it moving or not?
Mm.
It's not
Benefit
moving,
from
right?
generosity from public. Yeah.
What happened? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so many benefits. Oh yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
So loving kindness. So we will not going to um, discuss this in further, and you just have to look, or if you forgot the story, you can just go back. Okay. So another way to stop or overcome greedy is contentment. Contentment is the key to cutting greed. This develop contentment with what we have. In other words,
Mm-hmm.
we need to teach ourselves to be happy with what we have, to
Yes.
be satisfied with what we have.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
because we don't know that maybe for us we're not very satisfied with what we have, but other people are actually aiming for the kind of life that you have, which you don't know, right? So it's like you're
Mm.
suffering. You believe that you are suffering, but for others who are more suffering than you, they are your life is like an inspiration. Okay? So we
Yeah.
have to be satisfied. We have to experience contentment. In other words, we need to encourage ourselves to be happy, to be contented with what we have.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
right?
So just the view. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And then maybe you can just go back to this story. All right. And then another way to overcome greediness is detachment. The secret to freedom from greed. Detachment, not mean that we should not care about anything, not be attached to things. Simply not to be attached to things because we believe in the teaching of impermanence, isn't it?
We believe the
Impermanence.
teaching of
All the
we
things
believe
that
in
we
the
have in this
teaching of
world,
impermanence.
these are all temporary.
Yes,
Nothing is
exact.
permanent. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yes.
why that's why we have to enjoy whatever we have now because we really
Yeah.
don't know what will happen tomorrow. Tomorrow maybe we will not enjoy them anymore. So if we have
Yes,
food, we
exactly.
have to enjoy
Temporary.
the food. Yes. If we have some money, we have to enjoy this few money. If we have friends, good friends, oh, we need to enjoy the moment that we are together. Many people they
Mm,
say
yeah.
that life is too short. You agree?
Yes, yes, exactly. Enjoy the
Right?
moment.
Yeah, we have to enjoy the moment. Honestly, when I learned this when I study Buddhism in Sydney, I was very thankful. I was very thankful. Oh no, although this is also teaching, this is also one of the teaching in our religion, which is Catholic. But I never realized deeper the true meaning or value of impermanence. Because I am more thinking on the future. I am bothered what will happen in the future, what will happen when I get old, what will happen. Everything
Yeah,
is,
so many thoughts. Yes. So many
yeah,
worries.
worries. Yes, you're right. Worries. And
Mm,
because of too much worries, we tend
mm.
not to enjoy life.
Yes, yes. And ignore and cannot enjoy the moment because, yeah, the worries occupied us.
Yes. So that's it. So detachment. We should not, we can still enjoy the things we have, but we should not be slave to our possession. Like for instance, if we have a dog, pets, animal pets, sometimes we are also developing a very strong attachment, much more with the people around, right? Like our friends.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
why, yeah, that's why when the time came that you need to separate from each other, oh gosh, it's so difficult.
Yeah,
Suffering will start.
indeed.
Yes. All
Yeah,
right.
I have the experience, yeah, to worry about the pet, the kitten. Yeah, when I was not, yeah, with her. Yes.
Yes. All right. So this one is also a story about. So in general, to close this topic, uh, the main cure for greed in all Buddhist tradition are generosity, contentment, and detachment. Now, before we dive into the next topic, do you have any question or clarification or sharing would like to?
Yeah, just now you mentioned detachment. So how to, yeah, make our make our mindset to detachment. Yeah, does it mean that we need
Okay.
to, yeah, to treat all the material worlds and materials and all the as even the relationship as impermanent?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I think it is workable. Thank you so much. And
Okay.
sometimes I see the word attachment. I don't know how to, yeah, how to put it into practice. Now I see. Thank you so much.
Okay. Right. So I'm gonna remove this one and I will show you the other PowerPoint. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the
Yep. Yep.
review.
Yep. Wait.
Helps me a lot.
Right. So can you see now the next PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
yeah,
yes,
ignorance.
yes, ignorance. This is the second of the three poison, the ignorance. So we're finished with the greedy, and the next one is ignorance. All right. So when we say ignorance, this is about one of the important term in Buddhism. This is not to a lack of knowledge. Now, when we hear the word ignorance, the first thing that comes or that pops out into our mind is that We don't know, right? Yeah, when we say,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm ignorant about this. So it's like I'm telling that I don't know this. I don't understand. That's the first impression when you hear the word ignorance. I'm ignorant on this matter. I don't know how to do it. If it is if it is something to do, we say I'm ignorant on this. Or if it is a situation, we say I don't know anything about that situation. I'm totally ignorant of all these things. So this is the misconception of the word ignorance. It's like people believe that being ignorance is the lack of understanding, but it is not. It is not a lack of knowledge. It is not a lack of understanding. Ignorance is misunderstanding because,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yes.
because lack of knowledge and misunderstanding are two different things.
Yeah.
Lack of knowledge is you don't know anything. Misunderstanding is you know it, but the way you know is not correct. Do you get
Yeah.
me?
Wrong. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Wrong
see the
views.
difference?
Yes.
Okay. So I will repeat. The lack of knowledge is different from misunderstanding. When we say lack of knowledge, we don't know anything about it. When we say misunderstanding, we misunderstood. It's like we know, but our knowledge is not correct or our knowledge about it is wrong. Maybe we process it differently. Maybe we understand it differently. That's why it's misunderstanding. Misunderstanding is a common source of conflict between people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Misunderstanding, this is very common. Sometimes when we talk to some people, we just thought that we understand each other. But at the end, when there is a problem, it turns out that you misunderstood each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we when we experience misunderstanding, or particularly, or an example is miscommunication.
Mm.
Miscommunication is a
Yeah.
form of misunderstanding. It's
Yes.
like, yes, we we perceive the other person's words differently. Like for instance,
Yes.
if me and Enid are
Mm-hmm.
talking, let's say we're talking of something, my
Mm-hmm.
understanding is different from the understanding of
Yes.
Enid. So it's like,
Exactly.
yeah. So we might have a miscommunication, right?
Yeah, it happens always. Yes,
Yes.
actually,
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's why
according to Benny's opinion, and miscommunication happens, yeah, even within, yeah, among every person, among persons, and even every communication. So yeah, so we need
yeah.
to try to remove the ignorance.
Yes. Yes. That's why it is very important to clarify.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with asking question,
Yeah.
because other people, they are afraid to ask question because they don't want the other person to perceive them as, it's like slow, it's so difficult to understand. They don't want to have a bad impression.
Yeah.
That's why Even if they
Yeah.
don't understand, they say that they understand, but
Yeah.
actually they don't.
Self-protective and self-protect. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, sometimes we cannot avoid this because different people perceive different things.
Yeah.
But then it is very important that we are we understand what we are talking about and that we are clear about that so that we will avoid misunderstanding or misinterpretation or misperception. Now,
Yeah.
misperception, this is about the misperception of reality and ourselves. You see the two word here, reality and ourselves. We must be aware of the reality. In other words, we have to know and understand what is the reality, the existing situation. It's not the imagination because sometimes we are creating we are creating stories in ourselves when we interpret people's gesture, when we interpret people's behavior, it's like we are imagining. So if we are imagining something, it means that we are not in reality.
Yes, we're not in reality, and
Mhm.
we just within stories within our souls.
That's right. Yes, you are right. We are creating stories based
Yeah.
on, yeah, based on how we perceive the other person. But
Yes, exactly.
yes,
It
but
is
if we
very
will
serious.
come again,
Yeah, it's a serious problem. Yeah,
yes,
sometimes
it's a
we
serious
just
problem.
it just
That's right.
we're
Correct.
far away from reality, and
Yes. Yes. And then the other word is ourselves, misperception of reality and ourselves. Do you think it's important to know ourselves?
exactly. Yeah, it's very important. Yeah.
Yes, it's very important. Oh yeah, by the way, if there are some comments in the chat box, I'm very sorry I cannot see the comments. Maybe there are some questions or clarification because in my end, at my end now, my computer, I'm just doing the full screen presentation. So just in case if there are some comments or questions, please let me know so we can answer or clarify. All right.
Yeah,
So,
no, currently, till now, yeah, so far, no, no, there is
okay.
no, yeah,
Yes.
there is no.
Okay. Thank you so much. So misperception of ourselves, meaning sometimes or more often when we ask people to describe themselves or say something about themselves, they need more time. They need more time, right? Like, for instance, if I
Mm-hmm.
will ask one by one now to describe yourself or say a word that will describe yourself, some of you will have difficulties in trying to look for a word, the proper word that will describe yourself. Why is that so? Because we don't understand ourselves. We don't know ourselves. Sometimes we are also biased. We are only focusing on our positive trait, our positive attitude, because these are positive. We want them. But in reality, people who are more concerned about us, they can tell our positive and the negative. I mean, the positive and the negative aspect of our personality. Like maybe
Exactly.
our good friends,
Mm.
if they really care, or our parents, if they really care about us, they should tell us what is the problem with ourselves because we have a blind spot. In psychology, we are studying the blind spot of the person. That is the thing that we cannot see or that we don't want to see to ourselves because as much as possible we want to have a very good impression, but
And
because
we
you are
choose not, yeah, which we choose not to find them out.
correct, because in that case we are not in reality.
Yes.
Yes, that's why in our curriculum for college here in the Philippines, we have one subject in the college. The college students are required to take the subject regardless of their program or their course. We have one subject which is entitled Understanding the Self. The topic is
Oh,
all about the self, the philosophy, the spirituality, everything is about the self. Because maybe our government officials, specifically in the education Department of Education, they realize that this is the problem. Because you will not see
yeah.
the problem once you will not encounter them, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So that's why it's very important. And aside from that, many Western philosophers they they teach about the self, knowing about the self, like Plato, Socrates, even Buddha. Buddha had
Mm,
many teaching about the self. That's why
yes.
cultivating the self for Buddha is very, very important. And that understanding the self is part of that cultivating the self. Okay.
Yeah.
So another source, ignorance is also described as understanding, knowing the wrong thing, or misunderstanding of reality. Again, it's the same misunderstanding of reality. And this ignorance fuels the tree poison. So when we say fuels the tree poison, one of the tree poison, which is ignorance, all of these three, either of these three, they are fueling the tree poison. They make the tree poison more poisonous and more dangerous. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Especially if the person is not exerting effort on how to improve himself, is not looking for a way to increase wisdom. So what will
Mm.
happen? The tree poison will become more powerful. It will poison the mind and the body, right?
Yes.
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 This is the reason why some people they don't understand what is going on in their life because in the first place they are suffering from ignorance. Actually, all of us are suffering from this tree poison. But by the time that we decide to improve ourselves by cultivating ourselves, by exerting effort to study and to learn more, it's not easy. Like for instance, in your case and in my case, we're supposed to be in bed at this time. We're supposed to relax, enjoy maybe the night, or sometimes other are just looking at their cell phone and checking the social media because this is not easy, right? Studying is not easy, but it will be very helpful to improve ourselves. Okay,
Yeah, thank
so
you. Thank you for your
yes,
leading
yes,
contribution.
yes. All right. So let's move on. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if you're familiar with this. This
And
is Maya
s-
Angelou. This is an educator. She became famous in the area of education. Oh, her life story is very inspiring. He said,
wow.
yeah, he said, just do right. Uh, I mean, she was able to come up with this statement because one of her students asked her how to be good, how to be good, how to become a good person. And then she replied, just do right. Right may not be expedient, it may not be profitable, but it will satisfy your soul. See? It's so beautiful, right?
Mm.
It
Yeah,
will
beautiful.
satisfy your soul. It brings you the kind of protection that bodyguards can't give you. So, what is this lady is trying to tell? To become a good person, we have to do what is right. If we know what is right, there is another problem. The problem here is, do we really know what is right? There will be confusion because sometimes we know what is right, but for other people, that's not right. For you, it's right, but for other people, it's not right. So, what will happen? You will get confused. To avoid, to eliminate confusion, we have to study to be able to know what is right. And then, when we know what is right, then we can just do what is right. It may not be expedient, it may not be profitable. In other words, it is not expedient, it's like it is not easy. I don't know if you experienced that. It's not easy to become a good person. What do you think? Is it easy?
No.
No, because we have emotions.
Yeah. And yeah, most time, yeah, we need to control ourselves and to do right. Yeah.
Yes. It's not easy to control ourselves as well. I mean, when we sacrifice ourselves for others, do you think that's easy? Of course
Not
not.
easy.
It's not
Mm.
easy. But for people who learn the value, who understand the value of selflessness, it will give happiness. It will not become difficult. It will not become suffering. See, that is the thing that we need to discover. That when we sacrifice for somebody or for some people, and those people became very happy because we helped them to overcome their suffering, and we will also experience the same happiness. We should we should experience the same happiness. So in that case, we learned, or we have the wisdom of doing what is right or what is good. So yeah, this person, this lady became very influential in the field of education.
Mm.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So
She's so great. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, she's very, very good.
Impressive.
She has many speeches in the YouTube. Just in case you are interested, you can also learn something. All right. So another way to describe ignorance from Buddhist perspective is that ignorance is like avidya, or it's called avidya in Sanskrit, and avidya in Pali. I don't know if I pronounce it properly. So the root cause of ignorance is the root cause of suffering. In other words, the lack of wisdom is the reason why we are suffering. Do you agree? The lack of
Exactly. I
wisdom,
agree.
the misunderstanding of what is good, what is right. This is the root of or cause of suffering. Yes, it's very difficult, or shall we say, it's expensive to study, or education is expensive, but it is more expensive to become ignorance. Because if you are ignorance, you don't know how to protect yourself. You don't know the right
Mhm.
way on how to help other people. Because if you are ignorance, you will only focus on yourself. You will become more self centered. You will try to save yourself first before others. Because in trying to satisfy or getting all the pleasure or all the happiness is for yourself, right?
Yeah.
So that's why ignorance is really the root cause of suffering. And it keeps us bound to the cycle of rebirth because we are slave of this tree poison. So what happened? When our life will come to an end, when we die, then we need to go back. Why we need to go back? Because we need to overcome this ignorance, or to we need to go back because we need to be good in order for us to become a good person, to gain wisdom. We will keep on coming back unless we perfect it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Next is right. So ignorance as the cause of suffering. Ignorance means to be misled, misguided, deluded, or asleep. Okay. So as we have said from the first slide that this is not ignorance is not a lack of knowledge, it is misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. It's like, I don't know if you're familiar with the eye problem, a kind of eye problem, which is called cataract. Cataract. Do you see the picture?
Cataract. Yes.
This is the picture of the eye.
Yeah.
Yes. So the black part of the eye should be black, dark black. But there is white. The black is covered by white, and that is a
Hmm.
problem of the eye, which is called cataract. Now, if the person
Cataract.
is suffering from this eye problem, the view of reality is veiled, meaning it's not clear, obscured, clouded, clouded over by our mistaken certainty. Do you get that? Or even sometimes, many of us are wearing eyeglasses, isn't it?
Sorry. Sometimes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So we are comfortable looking at things when we are wearing our eyeglasses because everything will be clear. But when we
Hmm.
remove our eyeglass, what will happen?
Blur.
Blurred, right? Or when we
Yes.
look at something, it's not clear. It's not clear. Or when we read the book, we cannot hardly see without our eyeglass. It's the same thing. If we are
Yes.
lack of wisdom, then we will not be able to see clearly what is the reality of
Yes.
life, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we will not see clearly what is the reality of life. So this is the best example. Now, what we believe will make us happy is the cause of our pain because We believe that delicious food will make us happy because it tastes good. Beautiful clothes will make us happy because people will look at
It
us when
is.
when we have beautiful clothes. Some women, when they wear beautiful clothes, they feel beautiful, right? Yes. When they wear makeup, they feel beautiful, so other people will look at them. And when other people are looking at them, they are very proud and they are happy. And we believe that these things will make us happy, but actually it is not. It is because of our pain sometimes. Because we misinterpret what is really happiness. And happiness
Mm-mm.
is selflessness. It's deeper. In Buddhism, ignorance and suffering are one and the same thing. So if
Mm.
um if the person is suffering from ignorance, so definitely the person is suffering. That's why in Buddhism, the teaching in Buddhism, ignorance and suffering are one and the same thing. These two are the same. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Ignorance is the cause and suffering is the effect somehow.
Yes. They go together actually. Because
Yes.
if you are ignorant, you don't understand, like for instance, you don't understand life. So what will happen?
Yeah.
Maybe you
Just
will
like
not
a
improve your
plant.
life.
Yeah.
You will be poor for the rest of your life. So since if you are very poor because you don't know how to, you are not practicing, you're not practicing generosity, contentment, wisdom. So definitely you will suffer. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. So ignorance in Buddhism perspective, it's about the nature of reality. The Buddha taught the three marks of existence. Okay. These are impermanence, which is called anicca, suffering, which is called dukkha, and the not self or the anatta. So these three, I'm very sure you're familiar with these three, the impermanence, the suffering, and the not self. Okay. These are
Yeah.
responsible. Yeah, these are responsible for our existence. In other words, we exist in this world because of these three.
Yes. Thank you so much. And
Impermanence.
yeah, just like you're not self, anatta. And there is a word, yeah, we can encounter sometimes anatta maybe related to not self. Thank you.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes, that's right. Okay. So these three are actually it called three marks of existence, meaning we are existing because of these three: impermanence, suffering, and the not self. Okay,
yeah.
impermanence. Yeah, we need to understand that nothing is permanent in this world, and that life is really difficult. We need to suffer, but after those, we should forget ourselves, and that is not self, to attain
Mm-hmm.
nirvana. Now,
Nirvana.
ignorance causes us to
Yeah.
mistake what is not a self for a self, what is impermanent as permanent, and we seek pleasure in that give us the things that give us pleasure, which we believe will make us happy, but actually not. So it's like, yeah, it's a little confusing. What is not a self for a self? So it is really the misperception, the misunderstanding of the thing. That's why
Yes.
it is not enough. It is not enough that we describe something. We should understand that something, not only describe, not only define. We should understand deeper. Do you get me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Now, part of this three marks of existence, or part of this three poison, is the Four Noble Truth, because ignorance is connected to the Four Noble Truth, the Dhamma, or the teaching of the Buddha, the truth that leads to liberation. Okay, and that is life is suffering, which is dukkha, our desire and expectation do not conform to the reality of the world, which is in constant state of flux. So we experience dukkha.
Mm-hmm.
So
Perfect.
life is really suffering because there are so many things in life that we don't understand because of our ignorance. And some of us, we don't want to improve ourselves. So we remain in the state of ignorance. So in that case, we will remain suffering. We will always suffer if we will not improve ourselves. So that's why to overcome this suffering is to improve ourselves. So one of the Four Noble Truth is that we need to accept that life is suffering. But suffering in life will not end there, because there is a way to overcome suffering, or there is a way to end suffering. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yes. If Buddha taught us that life is suffering, that life is difficult, he also taught us how to overcome or eliminate the suffering. It's so good, right? He
Yes.
make he make us to understand life and the suffering in life. But then he also help us on how to understand this suffering and the way on how to overcome the suffering, get rid of this suffering. So second to this Four Noble Truth is the origin of suffering is attachment. Not only do we fail to know reality, but we misknow it. Misknow. We misunderstand what is reality. That's why it's very good. It is very good if people will learn how to become more contemplative. Contemplative. We need to contemplate more. We need to understand the message in the environment. For instance, climate change. You understand what is climate change, right?
Yes.
The problem in our
Climate change.
environment, the
Yes.
natural calamities, flood,
Yes.
fire. Oh, the fire in Los Angeles was so big.
Yes. Yes. So
Yes,
bad. Yes.
at least it's already stopped. I
Well.
hope so. Yeah, but many people were suffered so much.
Yes.
Yes,
And also
because
flood
we.
in Queensland.
Yes, go ahead.
And Queensland flood. Yeah. Every year
Yes.
flood. Sorry. Poor
Oh,
pronunciation.
yes. There are so many volcanic eruption, flood, earthquake. It's like
Mm. Yeah.
the environment is trying to send a message to all of us,
Yeah.
because we are not taking care of our environment. And one of these is the advancement in technology. We know that advancement in technology is really good for the economy of
Powerful.
every country. But
Mm-hmm.
then, on the other hand, there is also effect, negative effect in our environment.
Yes.
Yeah. Sad. The sad thing is the powerful people, the powerful leaders, they are not paying attention. They are not paying attention on this advancement in technology. Yeah, it's good. Yes, we need this in order to improve the quality of life, but then at the same time we have to remember the effect or the bad effect of this to our environment, to our nature. Now we attribute permanence to impermanence. The physical universe is constant change. That's why we keep on saying that nothing is permanent in this world except change. That is the
Mm.
thing we cannot change. But we know it is a permanent. Change is the only thing there is. Our ideas, the objects that surround us, and our perceptions are all transient. Even our idea of self is a delusion, since there is no permanent self. Craving and clinging to this inevitably leads to suffering. So it is very important that we need to know the origin of suffering, which is attachment. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are so many material things in this world that make us happy, right?
Actually,
Just
it's not
like,
real happy.
yes, just like the cell phone. We cannot go out without our cell phone. We cannot, it's like many people now, they cannot survive in a day without looking at their cell phone.
Too much attachment.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Okay. And number three of the Four Noble Truth is it is possible to end suffering in this life. Like the
Yes.
moksha in Hinduism, Nibbana can be realized in life through discipline and effort. Yes, discipline is very, very important, and effort as well. We need to exert more effort to be able to attain nirvana. Nirvana means freedom from troubles, worries, ideas, and the annihilation of the illusion of the self, where one understands Dhamma, the Buddha's teaching, and becomes an arahant. Okay, so of course, if there is suffering, if life is suffering, there should be an understanding on the origin of the suffering, and then there is a possibility to end suffering. Because when everybody are hoping to end suffering, sufferings are our problems, whether these are big problems or small problems. Okay? And then the last, of course, is the path to cessation of suffering, the middle way. This is a path between the extremes of clinging and aversion, both expressions of attachment, arriving at a state of complete equanimity. It is achieved through the Eightfold Path. So it's so
Mm.
beautiful that in trying to overcome ignorance or this three poison, the Four Noble Truth is very helpful and guiding us. This Four Noble Truth is guiding us to overcome this three poison or to end the three poison. Okay. And then another one is dependent origination. Dependent origination is the teaching that all phenomena are conditioned by all other phenomena. So it's like everything that exists is dependent on another things. It's like cause and effect. You agree?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Cause and effect.
Yes, cause and effect, the dependent origination. things are happening because there is something that causes them to happen. And ignorance is described as the first link in a chain of events that leads to a new cycle of samsara. Okay, because of our ignorance, because we don't understand. We don't understand, we don't know. So when we die, we need to come back to be able to understand. Now, in that life, if you still you will not discipline yourself, you will not exert effort to improve yourself, then when you die, you will go back again. So it's like a cycle. We keep on coming back until we perfected ourselves. Okay? Right.
Yes.
All right. Now, another way to fight ignorance, of course, wisdom, right understanding, and insight, true nature of reality. So we listen to wise teachers. How are we going to do it? How are we going to gain wisdom? We listen to wise teachers. Contemplate Buddhist scripture. When we say contemplate, we need to understand. If we don't understand by our own, we can consult teachers, mass venerables, maybe because they exert more effort in trying to understand the scriptures. And with meditation, train the mind to stay ever aware of our actions, speech, and experience. Okay? So this is wisdom.
Yeah.
Another way
Mm.
is ethics. Ethics, practicing ethical behavior like practicing the eightfold path or the 10 non-virtuous action or plant karmic seeds of wisdom to awaken. This is very similar or this is I think connected to dependent origination ethics.
So excuse me, I would
Yep.
like to ask you a question about the 10 virtues action. What does it mean, please?
10 non 10 non-virtuous action.
Mm.
These are the it's like values, virtuous action. It should be 10 virtuous action. Good good
Oh,
actions. Good actions.
yeah, good
Yeah, maybe
actions. Yeah, I
there's
think
something
we have
wrong
like eight
with the way
first.
I typed it. It should be 10
Oh,
virtuous
yeah, yeah.
action. Good
Yeah, yeah.
actions. Yes.
Good
And
actions.
then
I get to know
yes,
it and the
good
terms. Yeah,
actions.
maybe use
Virtuous
different
action
words
is
to.
like one example maybe of virtuous action is respect of all sentient being vegetarian, taking care of the environment, respecting other people, whether they are poor, they are rich, they are young, they are old, virtuous action.
Mm.
Okay. And then, of course, plants karmic seed. When we say plant karmic seed, these are also good actions that we need to plant. It's like
Yes.
it's like we need to teach children. When we teach children good action or discipline, it's like we are planting seeds of wisdom, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And then, of course, meditation. Deepening mindfulness of ignorance allow us to more skillfully apply the antidote to each of the three poisons. Craving, when you are suffering from craving, we have to practice letting go. Just let go. Yes.
Yes.
Acceptance. Okay? Acceptance. And then if we're suffering from anger, patience. Give more patience. I think this is the last slide. Thank you so much.
Yeah, is it
Just on
possible for
time.
you to? Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for your wonderful lecture and yeah, beautiful PPT, PowerPoint. Yeah, is it possible for you to send it to yeah our email?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. A treasure.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Um, do you have any question or clarification?
Question time. Yeah. The Q&A time. Yeah.
Yes.
Have you got any question? Hello, Daisy, Aline, and somebody else. Have you got any question?
Yeah, maybe you can
Uh,
also share.
and so
Okay,
you can
there.
see that.
Now I can see the
Yeah.
question.
Okay, good.
Could you share how you persuade yourself to do right thing according to your heart when there are some difficulties in some situations that's not understood and work hard and so on? Okay. When I was young, maybe in college, because I was born with a simple family. My father is a simple person. My parents were not able to go to school. So at a young age, I saw their suffering. I saw their difficulties. But I don't have any wisdom or knowledge about Buddhism, but I know the teachings in my religion. So at a young age, I decided to study hard and hoping that when I finish studying, I'll be able to have a very good job and be able to help my parents. And that is exactly what I did. And I think I do believe that I was born a teacher because my intention really is to help the children because I know the sufferings. There are many poor people in my country. When when I was able to teach in the elementary school, public elementary school, some of the children, I use my own money to feed them. It's like an inspiration. Sometimes we need to be in a
Mm,
very difficult situation to be able to understand.
yeah.
And I I was so blessed. I considered myself as blessed because I had a chance to study and maybe there are some good force in the environment that helped me to continue to study to improve myself
Yeah, you
so
are.
that I
Yeah,
can get
yeah, keeping on learning. Yeah, you are a good inspiration for us as well. Yeah, because you keep on learning.
sometimes I follow the flow. I just follow the
Yeah,
law of nature
yeah.
that if there is a chance, like if there are some offer to me to, like for instance, the scholarship, although I am looking for some ways, but then, you know, it's really like a law of nature, wherein when you're looking for it, you will you will find it naturally. It's like
Yeah,
you will
yeah,
find it naturally. So
yeah,
I follow the flow. Like for instance,
yeah.
when I get the scholarship to study in
Mm-hmm.
Sydney, I know it's difficult. I know it's
Yeah,
difficult, but I
yeah.
just follow the law of nature. I just follow the flow,
Yes,
and then
yes.
here I am.
Yeah, you did a good job and set a good example for us. Yeah. So, Aline, have you got any more questions on this topic?
Thank you. Okay, any more? Okay, so for next Friday, we will still discuss the last one, which is the attachment. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
attachment.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
the chance of knowing you, even I don't see you personally, it's also an inspiration to me. It's also an
Yeah, thank
inspiration
you.
to improve myself more because I am learning
Yeah,
also
thank
from you.
yes, all of us. Yeah, thank you. And also, yeah, you are a great inspiration and Reverend Venerable Ali just tell some experience of you and you still keep learning. Yeah, it's incredible.
This is
Okay,
just
see you
this is
then.
just my simple way. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you so
simple.
much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Have a
Yeah,
good
we really
night,
had a blessed
everyone.
time
Thank you.
tonight. Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
Venerable
you.
Benny. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye. Take care. Good night.